When I inherited my grandparents' home, I thought the hardest part would be keeping up with the repairs. The house had been in our family for nearly 70 years, sitting at the end of a quiet street where everyone knew everyone. I spent months restoring the old hardwood floors, repainting the porch, and replacing the leaking roof. The neighbors complimented the progress, but one person never seemed happy. The HOA president drove by almost every afternoon, slowing down just enough to stare at the property before driving away. At first I ignored it, believing that if I followed every rule, there couldn't possibly be a problem. That confidence disappeared the morning I found a thick envelope taped to my front door. According to the notice, the HOA had determined that my home had accumulated thousands of dollars in unpaid fines dating back years before I even owned the property. They claimed the violations had become liens and that the association now had the authority to seize my house unless I paid within 30 days. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Every violation listed on the document belonged to a previous owner from nearly a decade earlier. Somehow, the HOA insisted that I had inherited the debt along with the property. Their attorney refused to discuss it over the phone and simply repeated that I should prepare to surrender the house if I didn't cooperate. Neighbors started whispering that the association had finally found a way to remove me. Some even believed the board planned to acquire the property because it bordered land they wanted to redevelop into a community clubhouse. The pressure increased every week. More warning letters arrived. Inspectors appeared without notice. My mailbox filled with legal threats. Then an elderly neighbor knocked on my door carrying an old folder she had found while cleaning her attic. Inside was a copy of a court order from years earlier involving the exact same HOA and the exact same property. A judge had ruled that every violation issued before a certain date was permanently void because the HOA had failed to follow its own governing documents. Somehow that court order had disappeared from the association's records, but the certified copy still existed. My attorney immediately filed an emergency motion, attaching the forgotten judgment. During the hearing, the HOA attorney insisted it was irrelevant until the judge read the document aloud. The courtroom fell silent. The judge asked why the association had attempted to enforce debts that had already been declared legally unenforceable. No one from the HOA had an answer. Within minutes, the entire foreclosure action began falling apart. The judge dismissed every claim, ordered the liens removed, and questioned whether sanctions should be imposed for pursuing invalid legal action. Outside the courthouse, reporters asked the HOA president why they ignored an existing court ruling. She walked away without answering. Weeks later, the association quietly withdrew every remaining violation against my property, and homeowners began demanding an independent audit of the board's decisions.